I've seen some of Ivy Marie's posts on Instagram about her debut novel, Immortal Consequences, so when that released, I had to give it a read. Immortal Consequences is the first book in the Souls of Blackwood Academy series, a dark academia fantasy novel. The story follows 6 students at Blackwood Academy, a magical boarding school in Purgatory, as they compete in a deadly magical competition called the Decennial for a chance to escape their fate. The book explores themes of death, grief, and survival. I like dark academia books. They're strangely intriguing to me. And magic on top of that makes it even more exciting. It's kind of like Hogwarts in a way. At least I hope this book's going to be like Hogwarts, because who doesn't like Harry Potter? But I'm pumped to read it. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. It currently has 3.81 stars on Goodreads. Most of them are 4 stars, which is a little, I shouldn't say concerning, but I'm not sure if that meant it didn't live up to expectations or if it was super confusing. Immortal Consequences has also been advertised as having enemies to lovers, a magical school in the afterlife, dangerous competitions and trials, found family, and betrayal. All of that sounds really interesting to me. So I'm going to give the book a read, and I will let you know if it has all of those. I finished Immortal Consequences last night at 11:30. That doesn't seem very late to some people, but to me, to someone who has a 6-month-old baby who likes to wake up at the crack of dawn and who refuses to take naps during the day, that was late for me, but I just had to know how it finished. Oh my gosh, I think I'm wearing the same shirt. I totally am. The same shirt as when I filmed a previous video. That's embarrassing. On to my review portion of the book. Spice, there is one closed door scene, and there are several scenes of kissing. Language, there are a few swear words, and the F-bomb is dropped a couple times. Romance, I wouldn't classify it as enemies to lovers. It's more like rivals to lovers between August and Ren, two of the 6 main characters. I guess they hated each other in the past, but I got more of the vibe that they were competing against each other, so they're just trying to prove who was better. I loved the fact that they were in the afterlife, in that in-between stage between life and death. It was intriguing to read their experiences at a school where they were learning magic, on how to balance the souls that were trying to pass from life to death. I thought the trials that the 6 main characters underwent were unique, and they kept me on the edge of my seat. There were some twists and turns in the middle of the trials that threw me off guard, which I love. I love being surprised. I didn't like how there were 6 different perspectives. That was very confusing for me, to try to keep everyone's perspective straight, try to remember who knew what. I didn't feel connected with some of the characters because I wasn't able to bond with the past trauma they had before they died. I just wish she would have written the entire book in August and Ren's perspectives, because I'm pretty sure those are everybody's favorite characters. It's just hard to feel connected to a character when you don't have an opportunity to read much about their perspective, because there are 5 other characters that you need to read about. Blackwood Academy also has a headmaster and several teachers that were kind of like Professor McGonagall and the other teachers in Hogwarts. So I like that similarity there. Ivy Marie did a beautiful job at diving into each of the characters' minds. Her description of Blackwood Academy was very beautiful. Sorry guys, that was my husband. Back to what I was saying, if I can remember what I was saying. The found family trope was right on. The 6 main characters were all pretty unique in their own way, but I loved how they were able to bond despite the intense competitions they were going through. Their teasing each other is also right on. That was entertaining to hear Irene tease August about Ren, because everybody knew that they liked each other, but they just weren't admitting it to themselves, which is how most rivals to lovers or enemies to lovers books go. The betrayal, man. I I don't know if Ivy Marie dropped some clues about a particular character's betrayal. I kind of want to reread it just to see if there were clues and I was just blind. But that drew me through a loop when I read the end of the book. I don't know if I'm upset or worried. I don't really know how to describe my emotions. I just have to wait for the next book. But who knows how long that's going to be? Hopefully it won't be a year. It'll probably be a year, but I just want to know. I also thought there were some concepts in the book that were a little confusing to me. I understand that they are in a sort of purgatory situation between life and death, just in that in-between world. I kind of noticed a few plot holes that I wished were addressed. Maybe they'll be addressed in the next book. I just not sure how I feel about those. Here's my rating system for reference. Overall, I would rate the book 3 or 3.5 stars, somewhere in between there. I wish Goodreads would let you rate 0.5 of a star for this very reason, because I don't know where I would rate the book. 3.25 maybe? Either way, I still would recommend you read this book. It's unique in its own way. The competition and trials were very entertaining. I also really want to know what you guys think about it. So thanks for watching. If you've read this book, drop what you think about it below in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.